Well, hi.
It's all right. You can talk back to her. Hi.
I first met Joan Collins in England. She was married to Anthony Newley, the wonderful singer, performer, Broadway show writer. They owned a discotheque that was very popular in London. And I went to her home there and talked to her the first time. This interview, however, happened much later on the stage of my television theater. She was just starting in Dynasty and always glamorous, always interesting. I love Joan.
Which is very nice to have because I got...
Look at the matching earrings up there, too.
Yes, matching earrings,
Yeah.
little Art Deco style.
Now, is that, what is that, black onyx?
No, it's just a black glass. I'm sorry to say.
Don't be sorry to say,
dream
because
world.
over here we say black glass.
You did black glass, that's what it is, black glass.
Ask for black glass,
but-
Joan. Did you? And then imitation
What are you
diamonds.
looking at?
I'm looking at the entire design for a lot longer than I should be. And then is that silver that goes around the back of your neck?
Yes, it's silver plate. No, it isn't. We couldn't afford to do this, you know, in the real stuff. But I think that real jewelry is overrated. And I think that it's interesting to have jewelry that you can change with the dresses that you wear. And I like to have lots of pieces of costume jewelry so I can put them on and have them match what I'm wearing.
Are you loving it here in California more and more?
Yes, I wish it was colder.
Last night wasn't bad.
No, I mean, I miss what I call real weather. This is the one thing that I miss. I love the
snow
season.
and ice and...
Well, not necessarily snow and ice, but I'd like it to rain a little more. I'd like there to be the big change of seasons which we have in Europe, which you don't have here. It's always sort of nice and sunny.
Well, on the
and
East
smoggy.
Coast we have them
Yes,
here, but
yes.
not California.
No, you don't. So I get back to London as much as I can 4 or 5 times a year and go and put on my polo necks and my fur coats and relish it. But then when I get back here, I'm rather pleased to get back.
I love California. One yellow leaf falls off a tree and people go, oh, autumn, autumn. Autumn is here. Yeah.
So actually, my swimming pool is always full of yellow leaves. Yes.
Is it getting to you a little bit?
What?
Not the show, but all of the extracurricular things that go on around becoming a wanted and needed personality in this town.
Well, it isn't so much that. I'll tell you what I miss a bit. I really miss the anonymity, the being able to go out without anybody recognizing you and smooch around the stores and go to the antique shops and walk around and be able to go on racks of clothes and department stores, which I've always liked to do. Go to the supermarket and look through the cans of baked beans.
Now, this is recent, because the first couple of years, you showed up to a lot of things and you had a lot of fun with all of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I still do have a lot of fun, and I still do go to a lot of things, but I don't go to as many because now I really appreciate being at home and being able to close the door and be Joan Collins and not Alexis.
Are there pitfalls into playing a strong character like that in a weekly series for an actress?
I think that one of the pitfalls of playing somebody who's that mean is that people are going to think that you're that mean. But I think another of the pitfalls that happens when you're on a weekly television series and you're playing a very identifiable character that's not like yourself is that everybody thinks that you're like this and that they really do believe that you really are that. And there's a lot of people out there.
You've gotten that from people on the street or people you've bumped into?
No, not so much that, but from a lot of press people. And they, I suppose, are the people who are in contact with the public. So I figure that there are quite a few people out there that actually think that not only is Joan Collins like Alexis, but that Linda Evans is like Crystal and John Forsythe is like Blake and that everybody else is like everybody else, which is not necessarily always true. My character has got, you know, a few redeeming features, I think. I mean, I think she's quite funny sometimes, actually, and she can be quite charming. I mean, Laurence Olivier said a wonderful thing in his book. He said, people asked me why I came into the business. Did I come into the business because I wanted to create the great roles of William Shakespeare? He said, no, I came into the business because I wanted to show off. And I thought that was wonderful.
And probably very true.
Yes.
Why did you come in the business?
I wanted to show off. Now, I'm doing... My father was an agent, so I was used to meet...
Oh, you in the theatrical business?
Yes, yes, he still is. And so I used to grow up with comedians and dancers and soubrettes and singers and conjurers. They were always around the house.
Soubrettes?
Soubrettes? A soubrette? Do you know what a soubrette is?
A soubrette would be
That's
comparable to our little Ingenue.
Yes, an ingenue singer, yes.
Oh.
It's a cute word. Yeah. And so I grew up in that sort of show business atmosphere, and I was always fascinated by movie stars. I used to write off to, who did I write off to? Gregory Peck and Gene Kelly and
Did you?
Donald O'Connor. I suppose the one who impressed me the most when I met her here was Marilyn Monroe.
Wasn't she amazing in person?
Yes, she was so shy.
I know.
She didn't say a word. She was shyer than I was, and I was pretty shy. She was sitting alone on a sofa, and she was the first, in fact, I write about this story in my book. She was the first girl that I'd ever seen walking around, this is like the mid-50s, without a bra, in a woolen dress.
Right.
Very daring in those days. And she was just sitting quite quietly, and I said to somebody, "Who is that girl? She looks familiar." And they said, "It's Marilyn Monroe." I said, "Well, why isn't anyone talking to her?" And they said, "Well, no, why?" You know, because people are very blasé in Hollywood, right?
Sure.
I mean, if she was anywhere else. So I went and talked to her. It was the first and last time that I met her, and we discovered we were both Geminis, and she was under contract at Fox, where I was under contract. And in fact, she was about to do a film called The Girl in the Red Velvet Swing, but she thought she was too old for it. And she said, you know, well, I'm 30, she said, and, you know, I can't play a 17-year-old. And I knew that the studio were talking to me, talking about me to play this role. In fact, I ultimately did play the role with an American accent, which was very difficult. But I was absolutely amazed at this incredible childlike vulnerability. I thought she was wonderful. I think she was a very underrated actress. I see all her films. I have a collection of them on video, and I even have a lot of prints of hers, of people who have painted her and drawn her, because she was an exceptional woman, and it's extraordinary to think that she died practically broke, really. I mean, she hardly had any money, and now she's a cult.
You know my first experience with her?
No?
She came into my apartment and jumped on my bed. On her feet, jumped up and down on it.
Really?
Yeah, which I thought was a little odd.
And then what did she do?
Well, she was testing the apartment.
Oh, and so
'Cause
she
she was-
tested the bed first.
Yes, she did, because she was going to move in.
Oh, with you?
No.
Oh, she was going to move in. She was going to rent from you.
I wanted to get out of the apartment because it was on 57th Street.
Yes.
Across from Carnegie Hall, and it was very noisy. And I was doing a very early morning show, but I didn't want to tell her that it was going to be too noisy if she moved in. But 57th Street, New York was like this, and I was on the 4th floor, and I subleased from Marlon Brando. So it was all his furniture. And then Jay Cantor, who was her agent,
Yeah.
brought her to my apartment without telling me who it was. And there she was, and she came in. The first thing she did was jump on the bed, and I thought, I was out of my mind. I thought,
Definitely
is that
the
Marilyn
loss for
Monroe
words.
jumping on my
What,
bed?
was she wearing underwear?
No
I mean-
bra. No. And I noticed when she jumped up and
Seen it.
down on the bed.
And,
Do you cry easily?
Quite easily, yes.
Do you go home and
yes.
shut the door sometime and go,
I don't know whether I'm going to answer that question. Because, yeah, I think a lot of women cry. I think it's a very good release. I would much rather be able to cry than to keep everything sort of fermenting inside. If I cry or if I scream and yell, it happens very fast and I get it over with and then I feel fine.
Have you ever seen a man cry?
Oh, yes.
Does that
Yes.
touch you?
Oh, yes. Does it ever? It certainly does, yes. I think that it takes a very big man to be able to cry.
In a man, what's the most important quality, most appealing to you?
Oh, there's so many.
We'll start up here.
I suppose, really, a sense of humor and niceness.
But that's not early on.
What do you mean early on?
Okay, at the age of 21, did you want that guy to have a sense of humor or other things?
I didn't know what I wanted at the age of 21. I mean, I just, you know, it was enough that I got out, I was able to get up in the morning and speak to people without stuttering and falling all over my feet.
No.
Yes. Yeah, I was very shy.